Let's eat!
Welcome, everybody. This is Roger Bennett and Coach Mike Goddard for the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. We are live here at the Moose Lodge in Raynell, and what a meal they prepared for these kids, huh?
They knock it out of the park every week.
Oh, amazing. And these guys just eat it up this week. So, Mike, tell us what you come to expect from this week's game against Man Hillbillies.
Well, we had a lot of success last week. We're finally able to get a couple, not only one, but two 100-yard rushers. And that was the first time over a 4-game stretch that we had a 100-yard back. And anybody that's followed Greenbrier West football over the years knows that, we're predicated on the run. And so having success in the run game is very important to us. Not only did we have one 100-yard back, but we had two. So we broke the streak in a big way. And honestly, to kind of skate out of there, if you will, with a 16-14 win, we had to have all the ball control that we did have during the game. Both backs, Colton Chrisman and our quarterback, Colton Dunbar, went over 100 yards. That was the first career 100-yard game for both of those young men. And
so needless to say, they're both walking on cloud nine after last week's game.
Well, they are. Actually, I think Colton Chrisman this week, this is the first time he's ever been the featured tailback. He had been kind of in a H-back, fullback role. So
right.
Actually, the toll, the physical toll that carrying the football 24 times, it was a new experience for him. So this week he's had to do some things that maybe he's not been used to doing before. He has really getting that ice bath, and you got to break down that inflammation and stuff, and he's had to do that. And he's a workout warrior. You can look at him, and his physique is just fantastic.
Right.
But being a workout guy and being in football shape are two different things, and just him being in a different position, caused him to have to learn how to train his body a little bit different this week.
Right. But at Greenbrier West, it's next up football, right?
Exactly.
So he's the next guy up, and he produced, and that's what you want to see. Maybe not a featured back, or maybe even somebody coming off the bench. You want to see him step into that role and produce, and that's what Cavalier football is all about.
Yeah, he did a great job of moving the chains for us, especially the last scoring drive. I'm trying to work from memory right here, but I think we put together about a 17-play drive right there. Maybe a couple penalties sprinkled in there, but 17 plays to march it down the field and get the score that broke the tie. So we've got to have a running back that can do that, but we also have a quarterback there that's 6'4", 210 pounds, very capable running the football too. So the mix was really nice. I think Colton had 17 carries. Both backs had 124 yards. So it was the first time since the 2023 season that we'd had two or more backs go over 100 yards in the same game. And our record through the years, 38-2, when we have two or more go over 100. So our odds of winning were pretty good.
Right.
Now, we drove down before halftime. We were unable to score. We got the ball at the 5-yard line and then 3 shots from the 1. As a coaching staff, that's a little bit of a prideful thing right there. You want to have the execution to be able to get 1 yard. And we weren't able to do that. I'll give Doug Burns and Pocahontas County all the credit in the world. I know Coach Burns does a great job getting his team ready. And year in and year out, even since I've been in school, maybe before, Pocahontas County was always one of the more, if not the most physical opponent that we would play. And Coach Burns had those guys ready, and they stood up, and you got to give them credit. They stopped us before the half. So we go in at the break, tied 8-8.
Which at halftime we knew it was going to be a dogfight.
Absolutely.
It was going to be a defensive game. And that 17-play drive you're talking about, those are the kind of drives you want to put together, because not only you end up scoring on that drive, but you also control the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Time of possession is key in a defensive game.
Absolutely. And, that took its toll on the Pocahontas County defense, being able to manage the football that long. There's a mental aspect to that and a physical aspect. So we were able to impose our will, if you will, on them in that drive. Now, again, tip your cap to Pocahontas County because they stopped us deep in our own territory. We had to punt the football back to them. 54-yard punt return, they put them on the doorstep. They're at the 1 yard line. They're able to punch it in, get a touchdown. But then on the 2-point conversion, Colton Carruthers and Parker Vance really penetrated hard from the offense's left side. Their quarterback was going to the right, but they were able to close that distance and make that stop.
Right.
And that's what we needed.
Yeah. And ultimately won by 2 points. So that was a key stop on the 2-point conversion.
It was everything, as far as the way that game played out.
Right.
Now, another big step, if you will, I think that the football team took, being tied at halftime. We had lost 6 straight games going back to the 2014 season that we were tied at halftime. And that includes the Liberty game,
right.
Just the week before. So we're finally able to break that streak and win a football game where we were tied at the half. Our record historically is still pretty good when we're tied at halftime. We're about 36-15, I think, overall when we're tied at half. So
right.
Look, I could sit here and quote stats through the years. Every game is played on its own merits. These kids obviously weren't playing in 2014. They only have the experience of being tied at Liberty at the half and tied this time. But I think it's a growing pain, a stepping stone,
right,
that they had to take. And now we lost at Liberty, but we took that little step this week against Pocahontas County. Now we've got to build on that when we go to man.
Well, and I noticed the defense, I don't know what you did different in the practice leading up to the Pocahontas County game, but I noticed the defense in the Pocahontas County game looked a lot better than the second half defense against Liberty. What do you attribute that to?
We work on basics every day in practice. There was just, I think, more of a focus on and an attention to detail. We want to make sure that our kids got to the football, wrapped up, and ran through the tackle, finished the tackle, so we get those guys down. And we want anytime the ball, wherever the ball's going on offense, we want 11 blue shirts going to that football. Right. And so I think that our pursuit was probably a little better, probably gang tackled,
right?
Just a little bit better. They had 2 pretty good physical runners.
And you have to do that to eliminate the yards after initial contact, because that is an Achilles heel for a lot of teams at the high school level, is yards after initial contact.
Yep.
So I think you guys did a really good job of cleaning that up last week. Looking forward to man. It's an away game, so you're playing Man High School Hillbillies at their location. What is the biggest threat they have on offense?
Well, they've got 3 players that are very capable runners. And if you go back and look at their win at Mount View, they had 3 guys, I think, all over 60 yards. Their main tailback had 192 yards,
wow.
2 touchdowns. The next kid had about 86 and 2 touchdowns. Another one had 60-some and a touchdown. So they've got a 3-headed monster, if you will.
It's a very capable run team.
Yes. And I don't want to discount, them being able to throw the football, but they are a run-heavy football team. We've prepared to see both. We've prepared to see them, to do both things. our kids have been told this week, we're going to play assignment football. We're going to be we're going to be gap sound. We're going to cover all gaps. We're not, our linemen and our ends are not going to get too far up the field. Our linebackers are going to scrape and get to the football, and our secondary is going to do their job. They're going to think pass first, and we'll react run, and they're going to get in there, and hopefully we're going to have 11 kids getting to the football.
Right. Now, as far as their quarterback goes, is he more of a dual-threat quarterback or a pocket passer?
Again, I don't want to say that he's not capable, because I did see him throw the football. He's got a cannon of an arm, but I have just really seen them focus on the run. Their coach Harvey Arms has been there for 24 years, and when you're at a school that long, the experience that you've gained and knowing what your kids are good at,
right?
I'm sure he knows that this is our bread and butter, and we can throw some passes in there, but they're going to try to do the same thing that we are. I don't think there'll be any secrets on either side.
Right.
And their quarterback can throw the football, and they rely a little bit on a little bit of trickery. They do a nice job of passing out of their what looks like a run set, so they get those guys out there in the open, and he can throw the football.
Right. And so you've got to be able to be prepared for pass, run, even a quarterback run possibly. So, and I'm sure you guys have covered that in practice. With man on their defense, do they run a similar style defense that you guys have?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you get into this day and age of football, and we talked about a couple weeks ago, when you're spreading the field like everybody likes to do, especially when you're putting 4 guys out wide, or even 5 sometimes, you've got to spread that defense out. So they've got to really, if we do that, I mean, they've got to rely on 7 people right there, in the box, try to stop our run game. I think we've put together a great game plan that maximizes the good things that we do and some things that we think we can take advantage of. We'll find out on the first series.
And what I like about the Cavalier quarterback is he's tall, he's a big guy, and he's pretty good about reading the defense. And he has the option a lot of times to pull that ball out of the gut and keep it himself, depending on how the defense is reacting, correct?
Absolutely.
He's got that read option on about every play.
Right. It's an RPO is what it's called. It's a run pass option, and Colton Dunbar is very capable of doing it. Now, stop and think. We're talking about a kid that's only played quarterback 4 games in his entire life. So when you guys are watching him and watching the things he's doing, this is a guy that's new to the position. Even if he plays this entire season, if we go all the way through to Charleston and play 14 games, when he gets there, he's going to have 13 games of experience.
Right. But he doesn't look that way on the field.
No, because he's an athlete.
He looks very composed, very confident. He doesn't look confused. A lot of new quarterbacks or inexperienced quarterbacks have that look about them that they're not sure. But he has that air of confidence. Like he goes out on that field, like he's been there for 2 years.
Well, he is. I think that Coach Osborne has really stressed the things that he needs to look at when he comes to the line of scrimmage. I know he has stayed after practice with me on many occasions here, especially over the last 3 weeks, and he's worked on footwork and just the way he releases the football, delivery. He puts a lot of time into it, and if I could tell anybody watching today what I think the key to his success is, he's a multi-sport athlete. He plays football. He plays basketball. He's a state champion hurdler in track. And these other sports, every sport plays off of one another.
Right.
So he has skills that he has learned in those other sports that translate to the football field. And when he goes on this year and, our basketball team gets started, there are going to be some physical aspects and things that he's going to take from the game of football with him in basketball. So, at a Class A school, we have to have kids that are willing and committed to play more than one sport.
Right.
And even if it is not your best sport, so to speak, we may have somebody out there right now playing football that is not their cup of tea necessarily, but they may be a really good wrestler. So the physical aspects of football, they can take that with them on the wrestling mat.
Correct.
Right?
And vice versa.
Exactly.
So you've coached for several years, and as a coach, every year your game plan changes just a little bit because you've got to coach and you've got to develop plays based on the talent that you have. Right? So if you got 2 bomb.com receivers and an amazing quarterback with an arm, you may end up being more of a pass-heavy team than a run-heavy team. How did Mr. Dunbar change your game scheme this year, if any?
Well, we came into the month of August knowing that we were going to have some kids in a quarterback competition. Colton Dunbar was not in that conversation. We have a sophomore wide receiver right now that has caught all 3 of our touchdown passes this year, Mason Ward.
Yep.
He has played quarterback before. He's athletic. I mean, you could stand him next to the other 2 guys, and he's the smallest in stature. Not saying that he couldn't do it, but physically he's not as gifted,
right,
if you will. Then we had Scott McClung, who's a junior, and Scott's about 6'1", 6'2". I talked to him today, and I think he's at about 205. When you look at him, he's a solid, well-built, put-together kid. So for the first couple weeks, we had Mason Ward and Scott competing for that position. Colton, who I really had my eye on last year, I wanted Colton to develop Colton last season as a quarterback, but the way our personnel dictated, he was better off for us at split end, and he led the team in receptions. But at some point there, he decided that he would like to throw his hat in the ring. He went to Coach Vaughn and said, "Coach, what do you think about me trying out for quarterback?" Coach Vaughn said that, hey, it's an open competition. We just
So you're a tall guy, you can see over the line.
He got out there, and if you looked at him from day one till our practice this evening, you're going to see a kid that has improved tenfold. Just the things that he can do on the field. You've mentioned it here several times about him being a big, tall kid. Mm-hmm. He can look out over the defense, and he can get his pre-snap reads and know what he's supposed to do. Extremely smart, and then he can just let his athleticism take over. When I tell my guys, I tell all my quarterbacks this, everything's not as pretty. It's not textbook. You can't look at a play on a sheet of paper, and everything's not going to happen that way. So, I've told him when things break down, be an athlete.
Yep.
You need to get rid of the football, throw it away. If you can run with it, do it, but just be an athlete. So I want to take you back to the Liberty game. And we go down and score our second touchdown of the night, and Colton takes it around the right edge right there, and he hurdled a guy, at the goal line. Now, National Federation of High School rules say you cannot do that when a man's standing there with both feet on the ground and he's upright. You cannot hurdle him like that. They think that's a safety issue and everything. They probably haven't seen very many guys like Colton because he completely cleared the defender right there.
Yeah. Amazing.
In the moment, he just used his athleticism. And we're not going to fault a kid for that. Now, we got penalized. It backed us up. We didn't get the conversion, but those are the types of plays that he can make naturally.
Right. And that's what you look for. He made a decision. In his mind, it was the right decision. And it looked beautiful. I was there and I saw that play, and I'm oh, no, he hurdled him, but that was amazing because I knew the flag was coming.
Right. What we needed was a a Greenbrier Valley camera right down there at the goal line and him running right at it so you could see that hurdle coming at you.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was cheering for him. I was hoping they wouldn't call it or it was something against the defense, but, you cross your fingers, you lose them sometimes. I thought it was just amazing. It showed his desire to win. He wants it.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed he wanted it. Because how many people do you see hurdle somebody? You just don't see it. Nobody wants it that bad.
And that's not the only play. You saw him bust out of a bunched up group there in the second half and take it in for what we thought would be a score, and we had a penalty there for an illegal motion. He had a lot of other opportunities right there, and if you'll notice as we've went along and we're getting ready to hit game 5 here, when he gets on the edge now, he's got a wingspan.
Yeah,
he's put that stiff arm out there and
it's
clearing
hateful.
some room. Oh yeah,
it's a hateful stiff arm, and he's deceptively fast.
Oh yeah,
he's got such a long stride. It doesn't look like he's running fast, but he's covering some ground.
At about 2 steps when he hits second level. I don't know that there are very many kids in Class A, if he gets a step on them, that are going to catch him. They might over the length of 90 yards, but at the 50-yard mark, I don't know that there are very many kids that are going to catch him right there.
Right. Now, I noticed Pocahontas did very well. Your offensive line done its job. Okay, these backs they're obviously moved the ball, 17 plays scored. They're doing a good job at the second level contained. Do you have any kind of strategy for? Obviously, your O-line helps your guys get to the second level. What does man's second level look like?
Well, they've got athletes really all over the field. And when you look at some of the kids that are their skill position guys on offense, and you flip to the other side of the football, there they are,
Right.
And, but Coach Price does a fabulous job coaching our offensive linemen. Coach Price had well over 10 years of head coaching experience at Van High School. All right, so to me, when you coach at Van, I think anybody in the area might look, and you could kind of compare that to Meadowbridge. Meadowbridge is never going to have, a roster of 50 kids.
Right.
So with limited numbers, they are able to do some pretty miraculous things with smaller kids, if you will, whatever. Now, and I'm not going to say that we're behemoths, but we're pretty big up front.
Right.
Coach Price has got some toys to play with right here. When you look at Parker Vance and Logan Berry and Colton Carruthers, Logan Burdett, who is a sophomore, started for us at guard last week. He'll be starting again this week.
Yeah.
I mean, that young man's over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of muscle to move, isn't it?
They're obviously going to block whatever is in front of them, but Coach Price has done a good job teaching these guys how to go next level. Communication across the line is key, and they know what their job is in any given situation. And I think that our offensive linemen will match up well with not only their defensive line, but their second level.
Right. I want to take a quick second. We have a number 81 jersey from Crichton Junior High. Do you know the year?
Actually, I believe this was Crichton High School. Okay. And I believe this would predate the 1968 season.
Right.
Audie Sloan wore this jersey. Audie, one of the administrators here at the Pregame The Moose Lodge. I happened to be down here probably a year ago when he first decided to bring that jersey down here, and I fell in love with it. So he probably hasn't told anybody or whatever, but that's going to end up as a gift to me. I am a huge history guy. I have done a lot of research, not only on Greenbrier West football, but Raynell, Rupert, and Crichton, back through the Greenbrier Valley Conference years. And so their last season was the 1967 season. We'd have to ask Audie because I don't remember exactly what season he told me that this was from, but I think we're going to be joined.
Come on in here.
Well, first of all, I wanted you to identify the season that you wore this jersey.
67, 68, 69.
Okay, so you were.
I left the end up there.
All right. Who was your coach at the time? Mr. McNeil? Tom McNeil? Mr. Zopp. Okay. Need to hold the mic up just a little bit closer to you.
Okay, yes, Mr. Zopp.
Preston Zopp, who was, and he ended up being a principal up there for years and years.
Yeah.
You don't see very many good-looking pieces of memorabilia like that from Creighton High School.
That's why I wanted you to take it and put it in a frame for us and just store it after the school somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It almost feels like a sweater nowadays does.
Yeah.
You know, the driving.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I tried it on not too long ago when I first got it. I said,
I want you to try it on now.
Does it still fit?
I actually have a Raynell jersey of the same construction, the long sleeves.
Yeah.
Still has the tag on it. It was produced by Sport Mart in Charleston.
Right.
Wow.
I don't know where they done these. But
So I actually have a Raynell jersey and a pair of pants.
Yeah.
I've got a helmet from probably late 50s, early 60s. I do have some Creighton memorabilia too, but not anything that old.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
A while back.
I love looking at old stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so you was a beast back in the day, huh?
I was a little bit. I was a little feller. I scored a few touchdowns, but I did.
Did you?
I run her in around a lot. They just brought me in around the pool.
Right.
Everybody, they didn't know I had the ball. I had the sideline all by myself.
And you was moving on, carrying the
I
mail.
scored against Raynell twice.
Well,
Really?
so you'll be very familiar with some names early in Greenbrier West history. Number
Moore.
one, I'm gonna go predate Marvin just a little bit, and I'm gonna go with Perry Hubbard first.
Perry
He was
Hubbard.
the first great
Yeah.
great tailback at Greenbrier West, and
He was Creighton too, for a while.
then Marvin Moore was about
He was a beast running
1971,
back.
and so Coach Harris likes to tell this story. He had Marvin on the line at Greenbrier West, and somewhere along the middle part of his junior year, Marvin went to Coach and told him, he's like, "Coach, if you get me off this line," he said, "I'll get you 1,000 yards."
Yeah.
So Coach Harris agreed to do that. Now, at the time of his junior year, he rushed for over 700, but now his senior year, he rushed for 1,853 yards.
Well, I didn't know that much. But I know he done a lot.
He went on to play at West Virginia Tech. Coach Harris knows all these tells all these stories. He went 60 plus yards on his first carry at Tech for a touchdown.
Nice.
So if you've ever watched any videos of Earl Campbell, Marvin Moore at the time had those big Earl Campbell thighs.
Big legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can move them, that's for sure.
So when I did my research, and you go back through the years and you look at that he always intrigued me because his season total was so high versus the others through the years. And of course, I've read every newspaper article or whatever. About 2 years ago, we had a dinner at Greenbrier West to honor Coach Harris and his wife. And while we were sitting there, they had sent invitations out to former players and things. So I was sitting there with a couple teachers, and this gentleman walked in. He was walking with a cane, but when he came in, that chest was puffed out, and he kind of walked in like the king had arrived. And I remember looking at the two teachers, and I'm like, I don't know who that guy is, but you can tell the party just got here. Well, it was Marvin Moore.
Yeah.
So not only was he a great football player, he's a character.
Yeah, he was tough.
He was a character.
So has the record been broken? You're a history buff here.
Oh, yeah. The record for single season yardage, it was broke in the 2007 season. Trent Walker, who was he does physical therapy in Rupert, and he serves as a trainer on our staff, does a great job. he rushed for 2,500 yards.
Wow.
His senior year. He rushed for.
Now, was that just regular season, or was there playoffs?
It was all the way through.
Okay.
So he rushed for over 700 yards just in the playoffs.
Wow.
And that was a team that went to the semifinals. They went to actually to Wheeling Island Stadium, played Wheeling Central. They got beat. Actually, they got beat his junior and senior year by Wheeling Central. First game was in Charmco. Second game was up there. But Trent definitely left his mark. That Wheeling Central coaching staff really respected him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 2,500
so
yards.
He's the career leading rusher at Greenbrier West. 700 carries. He's the career touchdown leader, the single season touchdown leader. Trent Walker's got a lot of records.
Yeah.
Now we don't run that kind of offense now. We're just that was in a completely different time. Coach Lou McClung was our head coach, and Trent leads us in career 200-yard games. He leads us in consecutive 200-yard games.
He basically set every rushing record.
40-plus carry games. He would be on a Mount Rushmore. And I've asked some of the other coaches before. I don't like to say who is the best, but I like to find out who were some of the best, because I think it's hard to just say this guy was the best guy you ever had.
Yeah, because
58 years.
offenses change and the game scheme changes. So yeah, it's hard to put a label on it.
Yeah,
but
honestly,
you got to respect the man that rushes.
The guy sitting over there that was our head coach.
Yep.
He didn't play running back. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And he
Kelly
was
Vaughn.
a different kind of combination, a quarterback and a nose tackle.
Yep.
So I told our kids this story, and I may have told you all this a couple weeks ago. If I did, I'm sorry. My message to the team at the end of practice was how you should prepare. You should always prepare to be a starter.
Right.
So in the summer of 1984, Kelly played in the North-South game. And the head coach for the South at the time was a gentleman from Barbersville, and I think he either had a son or a player that was on the team that was a pretty good quarterback. So Coach Vaughn said, this guy played quarterback. I played nose tackle the entire game. Well, the game ended up going into overtime. They didn't tab the guy from Barbersville to play quarterback in overtime. They picked Coach Vaughn, and he threw a game-winning touchdown pass in the North-South game.
Wow.
But what would have happened if he hadn't been prepared? So that was my message to the team. Here's the guy. He pretty much conceded. This guy's a great quarterback. He's going to play whatever. But in the crunch, that's who they went to.
And another thing you can say about that is Coach Vaughn wasn't being selfish. As long as he was on the field, he was going to be happy. Right?
Exactly.
And that's why you got. As long as you can contribute to your team, as a coach, that's what you want these guys to do. Instead of if this guy doesn't want to be quarterback, he doesn't want to play at all. Well, that's the wrong attitude for football. You want to be able to contribute to your team no matter what position, as long as you're on that field, right, with the team. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I love the jersey.
Oh, I appreciate that.
That is something else.
Yeah.
Now, Crichton Junior High, the last year of the junior highs, you probably remember this, but Alderson went undefeated that year and were county champs the very last year of the junior. Then the following year was the consolidation. They moved up to the middle school at Eastern Greenbrier and Greenbrier West.
Should have been the 99 season.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so it would have been the 99 season because Western Greenbrier opened in January of 2000. I think Eastern may have opened a year or two before that. 99. I don't think Eastern and Western opened at the same year.
Eastern was in 90 or 91. The middle school opened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my brother was on the champion team that year. And
Western Greenbrier Middle did not open until January of 2000.
So, did Crichton have a football team after the Eastern consolidated?
Like junior high.
Yeah, junior high. But who did they play in the county?
They had Raynell and Rupert that still had teams, and then you had the Richwoods, Fayettevilles, Meadowbridge.
So they play outside the county after that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because back then, you mainly played a lot of the teams in the county because Ronsford, Lewisburg, Alderson,
so when
White
they were all,
Sulphur.
when they were all high schools, you had the Greenbrier Valley Conference, which dates back to the 1930s.
And then 69 was the first year for Greenbrier East.
68 season, 68 football season, graduate 69.
Right.
That was the first year for Greenbrier East High School, yeah.
Right. So then,
predating these two consolidated high schools, the Greenbrier Valley Conference had some really good football teams. 1958, Meadowbridge won the Class A state championship. 1962, Rainelle won the Class A state championship. Rupert in the 50s had two. Believe the time it was different, but I think they were Class B. So they had two Class B runners up. Mm-hmm. Then you also had Marlington, which I think Marlington may have won the last Class A there around 1967. And seems like White Sulphur had a team, right in there too. A lot of good football played in the Greenbrier Valley Conference.
So I got to ask, what is your feelings on the consolidation?
Greenbrier County was way ahead of probably most counties in the state. You can see a lot of schools consolidating. Right now or over the last 20 years, these schools are 58 years old. They kind of put themselves in a spot athletically to compete right out of the gate, to both west and east. And I know they classified both schools as AAA when they started. Greenbrier West, even at the beginning, didn't have enough kids for AAA classification, so it was just a few years into it that they dropped to AA. But consolidation for the high schools, I think, worked very well. A lot of us like the days that these junior highs ran all over the county and played each other. So, we miss those days, but they're long gone now.
Yeah.
Not really anything you
can't bring them
do
back
to get that back. No.
I think that when you have 4 or 5 junior highs feeding the high school program with 55 starters at least minimum feeding the high school, your high school program's a lot better because you've got a lot more kids with experience. But like you said, those days are long gone, and we miss them a little bit, but we got to move on and adapt to the change that has been presented and do the best with what we got, right? So.
It's kind of hard for me to get used to watching them little fellas play that. But we've never done that when we were growing up.
It's fun to watch, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
They knock around. Their helmets are bigger than they are, right?
It's so funny.
Coach, looking ahead to man, anything you've got to do different this past week to prepare, or is it just more fundamentals and they're similar to a school that you have, right? They're very comparable.
Yeah, we're going into this looking to build on the successes that we had last week, just getting a little more polished offensively, not making the pre-snap mistakes. You don't want to have those offsides or motion or any of those type penalties. You don't want any penalties at all, but there are two different kinds of penalties, in my mind. And if you get one out there, you're out there getting after it, and you get called for a hold or something. It's still costly to you, but it's different. You want to eliminate those mental mistakes. So we want to get out there and build on what we did well. And not just in the Pocahontas County game. We did some things well against Liberty.
Yeah.
And if you just look at the points that were taken off the board, we could have easily won that football game. And if we had won that football game, and we're looking at 3-1, things are looking a little bit better. We're at 2-2 right now. Early to look at playoffs, but we are rated number 14 right now. Man, actually, with a 1-3 record, they're rated number 16. So, it's a big game. They know they're kind of here in Game 5, they're kind of fighting for their playoff lives. Well, we feel like we are too.
Right.
We really do, but we don't want to walk away from man one way or the other, win or loss, and say, that either made or broke us right there. We just want that to be another stepping stone. We got another tough road game the following week, and then we're going to finish it out with a nice home schedule right there, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Right, one game at a time, and at the end of the day, it's really one snap at a time. You try to win each snap, win the quarter, win the half, win the ball game.
Absolutely. I never want those kids to feel the weight or the pressure of a game. I want them to go out and do just what you said right there. Let's go out and see if we can win this first play.
Yeah.
And then let's put plays together. Let's win the first quarter. Let's win the first half. If you win every quarter and you win every half, you're going to win all your football games.
That's right.
All that stuff will take care of itself. You worry about what you can do on this next play.
And one thing I love about this football team is no matter what the score, they don't quit.
No, they don't quit.
Till the final second ticks off the top, these guys don't quit. And at the end of the day, win or lose, you never quit. You're a winner.
I think it's a reflection of our head coach and the attitude that he's instilled in this entire football team. When you guys set up out there on Touchdown Terrace, I know I've mentioned this. We've got that string of football plaques up on the wall. Those are our playoff seasons, and he's proud of that, and we're proud of that. And we tell those kids, we want you to get your sign up there. What we want everybody to do, we want to get the sign up there that makes us change the way we have everything configured, because we want the one that says state champion.
Yeah.
Now, we've got 3 of them up there that say state runner-up, but you create a problem for us. Let's figure out what we do with a bigger one that says state champ.
That's right.
And then we'll figure out how to do the rest of that. That's what we're trying to do. So.
Yep, that's right.
But that's out in the distance. You get back here. Let's go win the kickoff or the return here Friday night, and then let's just go from there.
One snap.
And when everything plays out by the end of the season, if these guys do the things that they're capable of, and if they continue to improve the way they have, I think we'll be hanging another sign up there.
Okay. Now, are you, without saying too much, are you starting the game with the same backs that you played with against Pocahontas?
Oh yeah, there's no secret there. Colton Dunbar will be our quarterback. Crispin will be our tailback, and you're probably Emory Sanford, Vincent Vaughn. They'll be in the H-back position right there. We have no reason.
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Yes, we're trying to improve, but we feel like we've got the best possible players in those positions, and that's what we're going to go with.
Good deal. And so, kind of a long trip to Man. There's a couple longer trips in the future, but looking at this week, long trip to Man. And as it looks, for all the viewers, it doesn't look like we'll be broadcasting live from Man on this ball game, so a lot of people are probably going to be disappointed they don't get to watch it at home. Green River Valley Channel's done everything that we can do to be able to do that. It's just we've been met with resistance on the Man side. So we apologize in advance that we can't do that. We would love to do it. We're going to have cameras there, for coaching purposes and whatnot. You guys can go back and review game film, but as far as broadcasting live on the Green River Valley Channel and YouTube, Roku, and all that, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. We're not going to give up until tomorrow on that, but as of right now, it's not looking good. We've appealed to them a couple times to get to do that, but as far as I know, it will be on the radio.
I don't want to step on toes there, but yes, I'll be doing play-by-play on the radio. So,
And
it's not his first time doing play-by-play. He does pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That was a really good job.
He's the A broadcaster. I'm the C or D or E. You know what I mean? I'm down here on the bottom, and he can remember all these stats. He remembers all these stats, so he can mix that in there too.
He's got a good memory.
Yeah, Coach does. You do a great job when you do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the guys are looking forward to it. They definitely got enough to eat tonight to carry them through probably Sunday. So they've got the fuel.
I'll tell you what everybody can do. If they really want to put their eyeballs on the game, they can hop in their cars and trucks and vans, whatever it is they've got, and they can carpool down there to Man, and they can get down there in the stands and be loud for these kids. Our guys will appreciate that. They'd love to have a nice, raucous crowd in an environment. I'll be honest with you, only really my third time ever going to Man. One time was for baseball, one time was for softball, so this is my first time actually being there for a football game, but I know what kind of history this high school has. This is a high school that's been around since the 1930s. They have a very, they're very steeped in tradition. I know just a few years ago they were celebrating the 500th win in program history.
Wow.
Harvey Arms, I mentioned it before. This is his 24th year coaching at Man. Before he took over, there was a kind of a filler in there for 3 years. But before that, there was a guy named William Tootie Carter that coached them for beyond 24 years. The field is now named for him. He passed away just a couple years ago. It was named George A. Queen Memorial Field for a coach that's even further back in their history. So now it's George A. Queen, or it's William Tootie Carter Field at George A. Queen Stadium. So it's, the title, it's got a big, long title.
Pretty awesome. They pay tribute to those guys.
They do have a turf field.
Nice.
All the Logan County schools turfed all three of their fields.
Good deal.
So Man, Logan, and Chapmanville all got nice turf football fields. So it's going to be a nice place to play. But I kind of like the historical aspect of it. And last year when we played them for the first time since the 80s, I was looking forward to it then. That was our first win ever against them. They were 3-0 against us at that point. The first two games in that series happened in 1977 and 78. In 1977, Colton Dunbar's dad was on that team. Man beat Greenbrier West 14-8 in overtime to go to the state championship game, and that was played at Fairfield Stadium in Huntington. That's no longer there. Then the second year that West played them, 1978, it was Howard Hilton's first year as head coach at Greenbrier West.
Right.
And they made the playoffs that first year. Man went on a 10-play drive at the end of the game, and their fullback scored with 43 seconds left on the clock. They beat West 28-20. So this is West's only second trip to Man since that. Since 1978.
Wow. But that first trip come out at Greenbrier West won that game, right?
No.
The
Greenbrier West Man defeated us in 77, 78, and 1989. So they were 3-0, but we beat them last year.
Right, you beat them last year.
Yeah,
the first after many years. First meeting after.
Right, correct.
Well, payback.
Yeah, 30.
Well, we still owe them a couple.
Yeah. You intend on paying your debt tomorrow, right?
Coach Vaughn and I talk about this, and when you've been at it for a long time, like we both have, we keep score. And when I say that, in 2013, Madonna beat our kids in the state championship game 24-14.
Yeah.
Just a few years ago, when Coach Harris was still our head coach, Madonna came to Charmco and in the playoffs, and we exacted our revenge.
Nice.
It was funny the way our kids latched onto that idea, and they let the players and the coaching staff and everybody know that during the game that this was for the 2013 team. So what I'm saying is, we don't forget, and that's not a malicious thing.
And the brotherhood goes beyond one set of seniors.
Absolutely,
or one graduating class. It goes all the way back to program history. I can tell you this: the quarterback there just a few years ago was saying something, and the head coach looked at him and threw his hands up, and he said, "I wasn't even here in 2013. Doesn't matter. You're going to get this tonight." Yeah, you can go back and tell that guy what happened. Exactly. We love that. That's awesome. How long's it been since you've been on a football field?
Oh, gee. 71.
71?
Yeah.
And miss it too, don't you?
Huh?
You've missed it a lot through the years.
I love the game, yeah.
Well, you'll be able to watch. Do you plan on making the trip to Man?
I don't know. My wife's got to work next morning. I don't know if we can or not. I hope to.
Well, if you can make it, cheer on the Cavaliers.
I will.
It's going to be a great game, I think. You love to see. You've almost, with the win-loss record against Man, even though it spans way, way back, it's kind of fun to go back and exact more revenge, or them look at it like, okay, they're coming back, they're coming to our place this time,
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good, fun camaraderie in football.
To me, I mean, it's just kind of like a post-game fun to talk about thing,
Right.
really. I mean, mainly I want our kids to go down there and perform well, do their job, and hopefully come away with a good result,
Have fun doing it.
Right.
Well, and every game's a learning experience, right? You either learn something about yourself or you learn something about the other team.
Right. That's exactly right.
So, anyway, I guess we are just about done here.
I appreciate all you guys that does.
Well,
Buddy, we appreciate everything you guys do.
Yeah.
Big thanks to the Moose Lodge for the venue.
venue.
Oh, and they love it.
Yeah.
We love being here with it. And it sets the tone for Friday Night Lights tomorrow. Guys, if you can make it to the game, please come support these Cavaliers. I know it's in Man, but at the end of the day, it's really a short drive, isn't it? And if you don't have a ride, somebody will give you a ride. I've seen a lot of big vehicles over here on the western end. There's room in some of these vehicles. So come on out and support the Cavaliers. It will be on the radio, like you said, but, support these Cavaliers.
I'd like to say one more thing,
Go ahead.
if I can. Really not the easiest thing to say, but it was one calendar year ago today that I lost my best friend. He was my partner on radio. He was an assistant coach at Western Greenbrier Middle School football, and he lost his life on the football field. He was a great advocate for all the kids. A lot of these kids that we have on this football team right now, they all played for Coach Gray, and they loved him. And last year, we played at home, and we donned our gray jerseys and gray pants. We were in all gray uniforms last year to honor him in what little way that we could. We're wearing the gray pants tomorrow night, and that's just a little thing, but I would encourage everybody that's out there watching to hug your loved ones, pick up the phone and call your buddy that you haven't talked to in a long time. We don't know what tomorrow holds, and I know personally me and some of the other coaches, we feel the loss of Coach Gray on a daily basis. Yeah. It's hard to deal with. Yeah. Still, it's going to be hard to deal with for a long time, but we all loved him, and so I just wanted to say a word about him there for just a moment.
Well, our next breath isn't guaranteed, as you well know now, with the loss of your friend. Guys, like he said, hug your loved ones. Live each breath like it could be your last, and that's about the most sound advice I can give. You've been on this earth longer than me. You got anything to say about that?
Not really. You don't know who's next.
Yeah.
You don't know who's next.
No, you don't.
I mean, I've lost a lot of loved ones now.
Well, these guys, hopefully they'll play for Coach Gray tomorrow and bring home a win for him.
Right, and I won't leave it like that. Our assistant coach, our athletic director, Coach Robertson, he welcomed a new son this week.
Oh, good.
Wow. I think he's 3 days old today, so he's at home here tonight, I guess, watching. He's not going to be at school tomorrow. He'll make the trip with us, but he's got his new baby, Drew. So he's got 3 sons.
So a future football player.
I think the oldest one is getting ready to turn 2, so he's got 3 sons under the age of 2.
Wow.
He'll have his hands full
possibly
tonight.
be on the same team at one point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we like to see that.
Congratulations, Coach.
Yes, congratulations. Enjoy him. We're going to wrap it up. Coach Goddard, Audie, this is Roger Bennett with the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Thank you for watching, and go Cavaliers.